so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Turning to page 5 for the Kiddush. Anyone who wants to join with me in chanting? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen. Can anybody sing the next part? Or get into the music? Or get me started? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'Shabbat kodashah, ba'ahava u'ratzon hinchelkeinu. Zikaron lema, it's easier if I could sing it, but lema'aseh bereshit. Ki hu yom tahila lema'ke kodesh. Zecher litziot Mitzrayim. Ki vanu v'tarta v'otanu kiddoshta michal ha'amim. V'shabbat kodeshka b'ahava uvratzon hinhaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mechadesh HaShabbat. Amen. We've already introduced ourselves, and so we are going to turn to, I think, page 24 for Sholem Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharit, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlakim, HaKodash Baruch Hu. Enter in peace, O messengers of peace, angels of the Most High, Majesty of majesties, Holy One of blessing. Bless me with peace, O messengers of peace, angels of the Most High, HaKodosh Baruch Hu. Depart in peace, O messengers of peace, angels of the Most High, HaKodosh Baruch Hu. So we are in the section of Shabbat, welcoming Shabbat. On page 13, if you would read with me on the English. In God's hand are the depths of the earth, the peaks of the mountains are God's. God's is the sea, God made it, and the land which God's hands fashioned. Come, let us bow down and kneel, bend the knee before Adonai our Maker, for Adonai is our God, and we are the people God tends, the flock in God's care. Oh, if you would but heed God's charge this day. On page 15, a psalm at the bottom of the page. Sing to Adonai a new song, for God has worked wonders. God's right hand, God's holy arm, has won God victory, and Adonai has manifested God's victory, has displayed God's triumph in the sight of the nations. God was mindful of God's steadfast love and faithfulness toward the house of Israel. All the ends of the earth, behold the victory of our God. Raise a shout to Adonai, all the earth. Break into joyous song. And then page 20, verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. Lecha dodi likrat kala, panei Shabbat nekabala. Shamor zachor b'did burchad, hishmianu el hamaku echad. Adonai echad ushmo echad, l'shem ultifret v'litila. Hineri, hitnari me'ar farhakumi, livshi bigdi tefartechami, al yad ben yishay beit halachmi, korva el nifshay gala. Hitori, kiva orek kum ori, Uri, shir daberi, kavod Adonai, elayik nigla, lecha dodi lichrat kala, panei Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi lichrat kala, panei Shabbat nekabela. At this point, we rise and face the door to welcome the Sabbath King. Bo'i v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'shimcha utzsochola, tok emune umskola, bo'i chala, bo'i chala. Proceeding, having welcomed Shabbat, we are going to 28 for the Barhu. Baruch et Adonai Hamvorak, Baruch Adonai Hamvorak Leolam Va'ed. And on page 30, we welcome the evening, the Ma'ariv Aravim. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro Ma'ariv Ra'avim. Skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully opens the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzavaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Baruch atah Adonai HaMa'ariv Aravim. Okay. The Ahavat Olam prayer on page 32 and 33. I think we will read responsively, starting with on page 33 with Wisdom and Wonder. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instructions, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. (34 and 35), the Shema. For those of you who do it standing, you can remain standing. For those who sit, you may sit. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'kol levavcha uv'kol nafshka uv'kol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh asher anochi b'tzavcha hayom al levavecha l'shinitam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtka b'veicha techa uv'lechtcha v'derek uv'shachtka uv'kammecha. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Leman tiskeru v'yasitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kiddoshim le'olechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti echem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Met. Thank you. Me, page 40. Mi kamoka ne. Kodesh Nora Tehilot Osefele. Lot Osefele. Malakutecha Ra'u V'necha Bokea Yam Lifnei Moshe Umiriam. Ze'eli Anu V'amru Adonayim Lo Kleolam Va'ed. V'ne'emar ki fada Adonai et Yaakov, ugalo miyad chazak mimenu. Baruch atah Adonai, Gael Yisrael. Bless you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Okay. Oops. Anybody know the music for Hashkivenu? Well, I learned it in my synagogue. I don't know it because we said it always in English. So grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel for your name's sake. Be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and to peace evermore. Baruch atah Adonai, ha-pores suchat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Amen. Okay. We move to page 46 to Tefillah. I think we rise. Adonai tzafatati takufiya gita hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, ve'Elohei avotenu imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov. Elohe Sarah, Elohe Rivka, Elohe Rachel, Elohe Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor V'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei HaKol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imotot, Umevi Gula, Livnei V'Nehem, Leman Shemo Ba'ahava, Melech Ozer Umoshia Umogain, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mogain Avraham Ve'et Sarah, Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol Atah Endusia, Morid Hatah, Mechalkei Hayim B'Chesed, Mechaye HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Kayem Emunuto Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Bal Guvarot, Umidom Melach, Melech Mamid, Umachaye, Umatmiya Yeshua, V'nemanata L'chayot HaKol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechaye HaKol. We read passages from now through page 60. When you are finished reading, then for praying in your heart silently, please sit down. Baruch atah Adonai, hamvarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom. Blessed are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. Oseh shalom bimramav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al Yisrael, ve'el kol vimru amen. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, Yaseh shalom, shalom alom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Amen. At this time, we will turn to page 263 for the Mishabara. Today, between the two verses, we can add other names, but for now, we are praying for Millie Rottenberg, Howard Simon, Gloria Berkowitz, Gidel Bachana, Bernice Portnoy, Beryl Ben Sima Shmuel Labe, Steve Gellis, Shalom Avraham Ben Golda Ishahu, Mike Rosenblum, Harav Miriam Yael Chaya Bat Sarah V'Yitzchak, Maxwell Zwain, Menachem Mendel Ben Yehudit U Michael, Dr. Isokin Osamwota, Alan Mentha, Marlon Williams, Eric Rifkin, Bela Leah Bat Chaya Zelda V'Chaim, Rhoda Alariba, Luke Wright, Krendel Chaya Bat Rafaela Bat Yehudit Sharon. May those on our list and those who hold them dear be blessed with the healing of body and spirit. May those who care for them stay healthy and compassionate. And may we all help one another through this time. Did I say 263? 253, sorry. Mishaberek avotenu, makor chabracha limotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Berek Imotenu, Makor Habracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with Refuah Shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. So, this is the part where Rabbi gives a small sermon. And so I am borrowing from the Woman's Torah commentary, because this week's portion, Parsha, is Chuchat, which is famously known for this part about the red heifer. It covers 38-year period in biblical history, beginning with the ritual concerning the ashes of the red heifer and ritual purification. It continues with a brief recounting of Miriam's death. As the people cry out yet again that they have no water and that they regret having left Egypt, Moses' patience breaks down and he strikes the rock to get water, although God had commanded him only to speak to the rock. This is said to be Moses' fatal flaw, the sin that actually seals his fate so that he will not be permitted to enter the promised land. The portion continues with Aaron's death and the mourning period for Aaron, and concludes with a series of conquests and journeys through various lands on the way to the promised land. One of the most striking things about this parasha is the recurrence within it of elements that speak to the spiritual and physical experiences of women: blood and water, impurity and purity, death and life. The portion around Miriam's death and Miriam's well speaks to me because at Passover, we Reformed Jews now put a cup on the table, Miriam's cup, which represents the water that she was able to bring forth for 40 years in the desert. And so when she died, that's why there was no more water, and the people cried out. Miriam's death is also, like the red heifer, a symbol of bringing purification to the people because of her righteousness. There is no explicit mention, however, of the community mourning for her, only that they cried out for her, for water. Yet when the community saw that Aaron had died, the entire house of Israel wept for Aaron for 30 days. So instead of mourning for Miriam, the people seemed concerned only for their own needs. And during that entire 40 years in the wilderness, they were fortunate to have had the well through her merit. A lot in those 38 years. A lot to think about when we have our next Passover Seder. Okay. 284, Aleinu. We rise. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol l'teit gudalo rotzei breshit shelo asanu kekol haratzon velo samanu memishpachot hadama shelo sam chelchenu chakem v'gor aleinu kekol hamonam v'anaknu korim mishputachalim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakodosh baruch hu v'nemar Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad ushemo echad. We proceed now to the Kaddish on page 294. We are in the period of Shloshim for Molly Heitner and for Anupam Dasgupta. And we are remembering those who died during this week in years past. Nathan's father, Murray Polner, and Donald Taub. Those who stand with the mourners may do so as we begin. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabbah, v'alma divra kirotei v'almich malchutei, v'chayikon yomekon, u'chaye dachol beit Yisrael, v'agala uzmin kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabba min varak le'olam le'omei omayo. Yit barak v'yish tabak v'yit poar v'yit man v'naseh. V'yit hadar v'yit halev v'yit halal shmeda kodashah barehu. Le'olam min kol birachata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechamata da'amiran v'yalma. V'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabbah min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'ilko Yisrael. V'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav. Huya aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Zicharom lichracha. Okay. Adon Alom. Page 321. Adon Alom asher malach b'terem kol v'tzir nira li'et nasa v'chetz chol azeh melach shemo nikra v'acharei chilot hakol v'yilado limlok nora v'hu haya v'hu hoveh, v'hu yiyeh b'tafara, v'hu echad v'ein sheni, l'amshil lo l'chach dira, v'li reshit, v'li talik, v'lo ha'oz v'chim z'yisra, v'hu eli v'chei ho'eli, V'tzor chevli b'yeit zvara, v'hu nisi umanos li, menat kosi b'yom echra, b'yado akfid ruchi, b'yeit ishan v'ya'ira, v'imruchi geviyati, Adonai v'lo ira. So, Chala, you're going to stay for the blessing? You have to go. Thank you for joining us, John. So, the motzi. I'll do the announcements next. Thank you for putting up with my lovely vocals. Beautiful. Like my father, I sing with spirit, if not with good tune. That's what counts. Okay. So, announcements. This is for those who are watching and here, and for those who might view this another time. So because of the high COVID infection rate, we are asking you to remain masked during services and to social distance when appropriate. Masks can be removed during an oneg. Thank you to Seth for doing the mitzvah of bringing our live stream home. Please, if you're watching, please talk to Seth about learning how easy it is to do this, because we're going to need a number of people trained and doing this easily over the next few months in order to be able to live stream all of the high holiday services. Our next Hot Shabbat will be in person tomorrow, here, 10:30, for singing, dancing, story time, and other age-appropriate activities with Rabbi Morit. Weather permitting, they'll be outside on the lawn. And we're very excited to start offering Shabbat dinners at Temple Beth-El. The first one is July 29th. Go to the link in your weekly to sign up and pay. It's $18. It's only open to those who pre-register by Tuesday of the week of July 29th, which I think is, somebody know the date? The 4 days before, the 25th probably. The cost is $18. It will replace a Kabbalat Shabbat prayer service. We do use real dishes so that we are not throwing away plastic, so we're going to ask whoever is eating, we'll take our plates downstairs, we'll wash and dry them and put them away. After the service, I think it's going to be 7 o'clock, but it will be in the weekly. I think it's 7. And after the service, we'll have the ability to do the Misha Barak and the Kaddish for those who need to do the mourner's Kaddish and are remembering somebody. Change the world one meal at a time with 1 hour out of your week. We help feed the hungry and homeless neighbors at our food pantry, and food pantry has now, after this was the last week of doing it on Wednesday, starting next week, we have moved food pantry to Thursday night, July 14th. It'll be Thursdays, 5. We meet at 5 to set up the packages. The doors open 5:30. We're finished by 6. If you don't have an hour, feed with a donation for the food we buy. There's details on the website, or just show up on Thursday. Or write to Bob, the administrator, to say, how do I sign up? Thank you. And to everybody, Shabbat Shalom.